Welcome to class. I'm so glad you've joined me for this light as a feather flow. We're going to begin nice and easy, just sitting down in any position where you feel you can breathe comfortably, calmly. So settle yourself down, allow your hands to rest down on your knees or in your lap, and if it's comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes as well. And I want you to just focus on your breath and remember that as you do this, your body is so intelligent. Your body is probably already breathing itself at the rhythm and the rate that you need it to right now. Sometimes we're told that some sort of breathing pattern or another is superior or all of this, but remember, if you just climbed a flight of stairs, you're going to need a heavier breath. If you've been sitting down quite relaxed for the last few hours, then your breathing may well be very shallow, and all of that's fine. Just take a moment to notice it. And use this awareness on your breath to remind yourself that you are in control of this breath. This very powerful tool. It's both going on when we don't think about it, but something that we can also take control of. And in this class, we may have some challenges. But remember that by bringing awareness to your breath and bringing a smooth and steady rhythm to your breathing, you can bring a sense of calm to yourself even in a challenging situation. And just take a few more breaths, nice and slow, nice and steady, to bring yourself into this present moment. Releasing any thoughts, any attachment to what's going on outside of this class right here, right now. And maybe just take one last breath, breathing in a sense of gratitude for yourself for showing up to this class. And on your next exhale, slowly open your eyes back up and turn to the front of your mat. Come onto your hands and knees and bring your forearms down. We're going to start pretty full on, pretty intense, okay? But don't worry, there's a purpose to it. So tuck your toes under and give me a nice hat shape through the upper body, squeezing your glutes as you lift your knees up off the mat and come into a plank position, a forearm plank position. Squeeze your elbows together towards each other, and very gently, as you press your shoulders up towards your ears, lift your hips up towards the ceiling, coming towards a dolphin pose. And then just press it back to your forearm plank. Good. One more time, just press it up. Make sure you lift your shoulders up towards your ears as you press your chest back to your dolphin. And keep that kind of rounded shape through the shoulders as you come into your forearm plank. Squeeze your glutes. Give me a nice, strong forearm plank. Squeeze those elbows together. Good. Lower the knees down. Now, I know we started out already doing something pretty intense, but that's just for you to assess how you're feeling, because now we're going to floss a couple of nerves that go through our arms and shoulders. That's hopefully going to help us with that. We're going to start with the axillary nerve, and the way that we do that is going to bend your elbow as if you're putting your hand in your pocket, okay? And bring the palm of your hand, we'll start with the left hand, just to the front of the hip. Press that left shoulder down and pull your scapula back behind you. Then pull your elbow forward. So a bit of a strange kind of thing that we're doing here, but you may start to feel this kind of tension feeling in your arm. This is the axillary nerve. If you want a little bit more, take the right ear to the right shoulder. And we can floss that nerve very gently just by bringing the right ear to the right shoulder a few times, nice and slowly, about a second apart, and keep your breathing smooth and steady. Good. 5 to 10 of those is good. So if you're with me, you're probably on like 7 or 8. We'll do 2 more. Keep that shoulder down. Good. Maybe shake it out. So just same thing on the other arm. So imagine you're just sliding your hands into your pocket, press that shoulder down and pull the scapula back. So retraction of the scapula. Pull, though, now your elbow forward, so we're getting an internal rotation. Strange movement, I know. Left ear, left shoulder, 10 times. Or you can always just stay with your head neutral if you're already feeling that this is enough of a kind of tensioning stretch. So, the axillary nerve, what we're flossing here, helps with external rotation of the shoulders. Ooh. So 10 of those or so, shake it out. I like to call that one the robot, because I feel like a robot doing it. The axillary nerve now, we'll do those at the same time, both arms at the same time. So bring your thumb in and take your hands as if you're trying to get your pinky fingers to your elbows. Bring both arms down by your side and back behind you. Press the shoulders down, squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. Now internally rotate both arms, so you're trying to bring your pinky fingers forwards. Now we're getting into the radial nerve, and we can take the head from side to side, flossing the left side and the right side at the same time. Breathe as you go, just keeping about 1 second apart as you bring the ear to each shoulder. Good, 2 more or so. So, I know we look funny, but hopefully you're feeling good in your shoulders now. That radial nerve is what allows for shoulder flexion, which is the other thing that we need. So let's reassess now. So come into your forearm plank once again. Bring the elbows down underneath your shoulders. You can also have them a little bit wider than your shoulders. Bring the palms together if that feels more comfortable for you. However you have your elbows though, just make sure you're squeezing them in towards each other and you're getting into your external rotators of the shoulders. So squeeze those elbows together however you're positioning them. Lower your hips down, maybe even go towards a little sphinx pose. Then lift the hips up, press your shoulders up towards your ears as you bring your chest back towards your thighs, lift the hips up into a dolphin pose. Roll back forward into a plank, take it back. Good, breathe as you go. Inhale forward to plank, exhale to dolphin. That's gonna help you engage all of the core muscles, exhaling in your dolphin pose. Good. Come back through your forearm plank. You can walk the feet back if you need to. One more time, just squeeze those elbows together. Squeeze your booty and lower your hips down onto the mat. Release the toes and just slide the left arm over behind the right, over to the right side of you, roll over onto your back, coming into a twist. So you can leave your left knee over, your right knee over on the mat. So you got this nice twist. And just take a moment to breathe here. Maybe let your breathing come back to a slow and steady pace. And then if you're thinking, oh my gosh, we just started the class and I'm already doing all of these challenging things, just remember that, in life and on our yoga mat, just because something begins as challenging doesn't mean it's going to remain that way. Good, roll back onto your belly. We'll just switch sides. So slide the right arm behind the left. Leave your left knee where it is, so as you roll over onto your back, you get a nice twist. And remember that the theme of this class is light as a feather, and you can make yourself feel a lot lighter, not just through your breath, but through the gentle activation of your muscles, just engaging the muscles just enough to do what you need to do, to bring stability to your body. But not so much that you're expending unnecessary energy. So we'll just keep that in mind as we go forward. Roll back over onto your belly. Bring your elbows under your shoulders one more time. Tuck the toes under. Give me a squeeze of the glutes. And imagine you're doing crunches. So bring your abdominals into contraction to lift your belly up. Press the hips up and back. Open up through the shoulders. Press your shoulders up towards your ears to come into a dolphin pose. Now, lift your right leg up into a one-legged dolphin. Look forward with your eyes towards your thumbs. And I want you to just rock your shoulders over as if you're trying to like kiss your thumbs and take it back. And leave your eyes looking up, looking forwards. So allow your gaze, your eye muscles actually to get some movement in as you rock forward and back. And if that's enough for you, you carry on doing that. But you can also add in lowering the right toes and lifting them up. So when you rock back, lower the right toes, lift them up to the front of the mat. Finally, if you like, you can play around with hopping off of that bottom leg, just playing around with bringing your weight into your arms. Good. Keeping your gaze at the front of the mat the whole time. Lower the knees down, maybe shake it out. And we're just gonna do that again on the other side. So when you're ready, lower the elbows back down, tuck the toes under, lift up into your dolphin pose. Now lift the left leg up, bring your gaze forward. Start out just rocking. Get a feel for shifting your weight into your arms. Lower the left toes to the back of the mat, then lift them up if you want to add in a little kick of the legs. And think light as a feather, using that top leg, lifting up to help bring your whole body towards vertical. And then if you're feeling like it, maybe do a few hops. But keeping your gaze down also helps your brain understand where you're going, what direction you're moving in. All right, when you're ready, just lower that back down. Come back into a kneeling position, maybe shake out the arms. We're gonna give those arms a little bit of a break now and move on to our feet. So just take your hands back down to the mat, lift up into a downward facing dog. Maybe walk your dog out if you feel you need to. And you can just walk or step or jump your feet to the front of the mat. Bring them to hip width distance. Rise up halfway into an Ardha Uttanasana. Find length through your spine. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, just fold down into a gentle standing forward fold. Knees can be bent as much as you need to. When you're ready, roll all the way up to stand. Give me a little squeeze of the glutes at the top. Think light as a feather. Think about making your whole body float, levitate even off of your mat just by bringing a little bit of activation to all of your muscles so that you're not slopping down, but rather lifting up. Take an inhale, reach your arms up, look up, stretch up nice and tall. As you exhale, fold back down into your Uttanasana. Knees can be bent. Inhale, just come up halfway. As you exhale, shift your weight into your right foot, step the left foot to the back of the mat, lower the knee down, reach your arms up. Shift your weight back over that left knee. You can bring your arms down for now and just swivel your left toes over to the right side. So your shin is parallel to the back of the mat. Leave your right toes pointing forwards. Bend again into that right knee. Now with your hips open. Little baby warrior two. Extend your arms out. Even though it's a baby warrior two, still a warrior two. So give me that nice strong warrior two arms. And then straighten your right knee and begin to just lower your hips down to the back of the mat. Just as much as you can. And we're gonna move back into that baby warrior two. And I also like to, whenever I'm lowering my hips, just reach my arms forward. So our arms kind of get involved a little bit too. And just move back and forth through those positions a few times. Not going so far that it feels in any way uncomfortable on that left hip. Just getting into a little bit of a new shape perhaps. All right. Move back into your baby warrior two and just swivel your back knee back to where it was into your low lunge. Tuck the toes under. Reach the arms up. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower them down either side of the right foot. Lift the back knee up. Step your right foot back to meet the left. Squeeze your tush. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower all the way down onto your mat. Inhale, lift up the chest, the shoulders, the head into a baby cobra. You can also do up dog here. As you exhale, just press everything up and back into a downward facing dog. Press those shoulders up towards the ears. We can find greater shoulder flexion. If we also elevate the scapula, that just means pressing the shoulders up towards the ears. Take an inhale, look forward, bend your knees, and step or hop or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine, come up halfway. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, roll yourself up, reach your arms up high. Look up, lift up, squeeze the booty a little bit, and exhale, fold back down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Lower the knee down, rise up into your low lunge. Squeeze that right tush. Inhale, as you exhale, shift the hips back over the knee, swivel your shin parallel to the back of the mat, extend your arms, open your hips, baby warrior 2. Reach forward as you lower the hips to the back of the mat. 4 more of those, just kind of easing yourself into it, breathing as you go. Exhale as you go back. Inhale to your baby warrior 2. Exhale back, maybe finding a little bit more depth. Exhale back. One more time into your baby warrior 2. Swivel that back knee forward, reach the arms up, squeeze the glutes. As you exhale, lower the hands down, lift the right knee up, step back into your plank. Inhale here. As you exhale, then just lower all the way down. Inhale, come, find your back bend. Exhale, tuck the toes, press everything back to downward facing dog. Again, find stillness here. Press the shoulders up towards the ears. Press the hands firmly into the mat. And perhaps think once again, light as a feather. Lifting the tailbone up towards the ceiling, pressing your shoulders towards your ears to find this feeling of lightness, to balance out the groundedness that you feel through your hands and the bottom of your feet. Good. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look forward, and bring your feet up to the front of the mat, however you please. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll yourself up to stand. Reach your arms up nice and long. Stretch tall. Exhale, bring your arms back down to your side. Perhaps close your eyes or keep them open and just find, once again, a feeling of stillness and perhaps a feeling of lightness. Now with that feeling of lightness, open your eyes if they're closed. Step forward a little bit. I don't know about you, but I've ended up a little bit towards the middle of my mat. So I'm just going to take a little step forward into my right foot and bring my left knee up to my chest. Now make sure that the right knee stays straight here. So that's the goal here, is to keep the right knee straight. The left knee, we want to lift it up as high as we can, but without losing that stability through the right knee and really getting into the right hip. You should be feeling, and you can always reach back there and just poke it, feeling that right gluteus medius really working hard here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bend the right knee and bring your left ankle on top of the left knee. Sink the hips back, stretching out the left glute. Don't worry, that right one's gonna get a stretch too later on. Stand back up and move your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Reach your arms up, lower the knee down. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bring your arms to a cactus position. Press your elbows forward, bring the wrists back. Inhale again. As you exhale, twist to the right. Now we're gonna try and get the elbow somewhere around that right knee, the left elbow to the right knee. Lift the back knee up, take an inhale. As you exhale, step forward into a little revolved chair. Now, shift your weight into the left foot with the left elbow pressing into the right knee. Stand all the way up into a little twist here. Inhale back through center. Keep that right knee bent as you bring it back behind you. Now bend into the left knee and think about bringing your right elbow towards your left knee. No worries if it doesn't touch. We're gonna do 5 more, moving back and forth between those movements. You can continue that, or you can think about going more towards a revolved half moon as you twist around to the left, straightening that right leg back behind you. Another option is to keep the leg straight the whole time, the right leg straight, moving through a full revolved Padangusthasana to revolved half moon. Good, 1 more of those, whatever variation you're working on. Remember, you can always just take this nice and slow. Don't go to the full poses. Bend the left knee, lower the right knee down. Keep your twist, lower the right hand down next to the left foot. Straighten through the left knee. Coming into a little revolved half monkey pose. We'll just breathe here for a bit. Make any movements that you want to make, especially in that left leg. Maybe roll out through the ankle. You can internally and externally rotate through the left hip. Just find where maybe you need a stretch more than somewhere else. You can play around just like wiggling your hips around or going into slightly different shapes. Just find what works for you right here, right now. One more big breath. As you exhale, shift your weight over to the right side of your body so you can lift that leg up, swing it all the way back behind you. Extend your left leg and left arm away from each other and lower your left hand all the way forward to the front of the mat as much as you can. Press the left shoulder up towards your ear as you sink the chest down into a little sort of puppy pose variation. Inhale, and as you exhale, rise up. Lower the left toes to the back of the mat, lift the right knee up, shift your left shoulder forward over the left wrist and come onto the outside of the left foot. Bring the right arm up. The right foot stacks on top of the left. Bend the right knee and step the right foot back behind you. Bend into the left knee, squeeze your glutes, open your hips up towards the ceiling and move towards a wild thing. Breathe, keep those glutes active though. As you exhale, look down towards your mat. Lower the right hand as you pick up the right foot. Lower the right hand back where it was, towards the middle of the mat. Lower the left elbow down. And you may want to adjust that foot. We want to kind of have the left elbow in line with the right fingertips. We've got a few options here. So option one is to lower the head down, moving that left arm however you need to make it comfortable for you. And you can stay here. Or option two, bring the right knee into the right elbow. Just have it right there at the back of the right upper arm, kind of balancing there. Option three, pull the left heel to the butt, lifting that left foot up. All right, or you can do all of this without putting your head down. So play around with shifting your weight forward. Remember, you want to look down to your mat. Tell your brain where you're going. Bring the right knee to the right elbow, shift forward, maybe play around with shifting so much that the left foot comes up. And finally, you may even be able to lift the left heel all the way up to the ceiling. I want you to think light as a feather. Good. Lower that left foot down, lower the left knee, slide the right elbow down next to the left. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lift the left knee back up. And from here, I want you to lower the right toes and lift them up. Lower and lift a few times and get a little bit of a rocking going with your upper body, moving your shoulders towards your fingers. Keep pressing your shoulders up towards your ears. Keep your gaze on your mat and maybe play around with jumping up to a little pincha a few times. Keep that right glute, that right leg super active and think light as a feather. Good. Lower everything down and take a few moments just resting and relaxing in a child's pose. Good. When you're ready, rise up back through your tabletop position, tuck the toes under, lift up to a nice and easy downward facing dog, and just bring your feet back to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold back down. Roll yourself up to stand, nice and easy. Reach the arms up, stretch up nice and tall. Exhale, bring your hands down to your hips, pick up the right knee, keep the left knee straight. Breathe here. Remember, we're just going for that left gluteus medius to get really nice and activated. This is what's gonna help us feel light as a feather. When you're ready, bend into the left knee, bring the right ankle on top of the left, sink the hips back and down. Maybe find a little prayer shape with the hands, just stretching out through that right glute. Take an inhale. As you exhale, stand halfway up just to unwind yourself. Bring the right foot to the back of the mat. Lower the right knee down. Lower your elbows down, coming into a little cactus shape of the arms. Take an inhale. As you exhale, twist around to the right. Bring your torso forward. Get the right elbow in contact with the left knee. Lift the right knee up Step forward to a revolved chair. Shift your weight now into the right leg. Keep the contact between the knee and the elbow as much as possible. It's okay though if you lose contact. You can totally do it just like this here. Take an inhale and come back through center. Remember, we've got our options here. So as you extend the left leg back behind you, just bring the left elbow down towards the right knee. All right, 4 more of those. You can keep that left knee bent or extend the left knee straight, open the arms out, maybe even straighten that right knee. All right, or keep the left leg and the right leg straight the whole time. These are your options. Remember, it does not make you a better yogi, a better person, anything different to anybody else, or former or future versions of yourself if you want to keep your legs straight or bent or whatever. Good. Finishing that last one in our revolved half moon or wherever that kind of shape brings you to. Lower the left foot to the back of the mat. Lower the knee down. Keep your twist. Straighten the right knee as you shift your hips back. Lower the left hand to the outside of the right foot. And we'll just breathe here. So feel free to lower that right hand down if you don't want to leave it up, or, it's up to you. Let's just focus on the right foot for a bit though, or the right leg rather. So I like to do these little ankle circles. Or if you think of your foot like a windshield wiper, but not moving the ankle, rather moving the femur, the big thigh bone, you can change the stretch you get in your right hip. And kind of find maybe a tight area that you didn't know existed. It's all about learning. So we'll shift the weight into the left side of our body so we can pick that right foot up and just swing it all the way around to the back. Stretch the right arm forward, the right toes back. Take an inhale. As you exhale, just bring that right hand as far forward as you can. Press the right shoulder to the ear and sink your chest down. Lift that right leg up. Remember, your breath is your key to staying calm through these challenging moments, on and off the mat. Good. We're gonna shift the shoulders up and forward, lower the right toes down, shift our weight all the way into that right hand and come to the outside of the right foot. Bring the left foot on top of the right and stack your left arm up over on top of you. Bend to the left knee, lower the left toes to the back of the mat, bend into the right knee, and squeeze your glutes as you twist gently to open up into your wild thing. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, look back down to the mat. We're gonna lower the left hand down towards the middle of the mat, spin around on that right foot, lower the right elbow down. Adjust if you need to, and we've got our options here. So you can keep your head up or lower the top of your head to the mat. We're gonna play around with bringing the left knee to the left elbow, shifting our weight forward, maybe play around with just quickly bringing the right knee to the chest. If you fall back towards that right foot, that means you just need to bring more weight forward towards the right fingertips a little bit more until you can find the balance and maybe start to extend that right leg all the way up to the ceiling. Good. When you're done, lower the right toes back down to the mat, lower the right knee down, and just slide the left hand forward down onto the forearm to meet the right one. Take an inhale. Squeeze the elbows together gently. As you exhale, lift up, think light as a feather. So press the shoulders up to the ears and use that left leg lifting up. So keep that left leg active. Use your gaze as well. Look forward with your eyes. Tell your brain, let your brain know with your eyes where you're going to. And play around with maybe just shifting your weight forward, or perhaps taking a little hop off of the right foot. You can also, of course, come to a wall if you want to have the certainty of knowing that you've got something to catch you if you fall back behind you. All right, so just play around with that again for a few more breaths and come into a child's pose for a moment of calm and stillness before we move on. All right, when you're ready, just rise up and we're gonna just slide the legs around in front of you, scoot forward on your mat so you can roll onto your back, and lower the right foot down so you can hook the left ankle on top of the right knee. And you can stay here and think about externally rotating through the hips, so you wanna press the left knee away from you and pull. Don't just use your right leg. Use a little bit of muscle going on in your hip to pull the left ankle towards you. So you're getting that pigeon stretch, but it's not completely passive. And if it's comfortable, you can continue that movement. So doing as much as you can with your hip, but bring your right knee towards you, just deepening the stretch a little bit. But just remember, find that sense of calmness, that sense of ease. Allow your upper body, for example, to relax. Allow your jaw to relax, your forehead. But maybe also press your left ankle into your right knee. Just keep a little bit of gentle activation through that left hip as you're opening up. One more breath here, nice and calm. Melting onto the mat a little bit more as you lower the right foot down. Or just maybe shake out that left leg and repeat on the other side. So hook the right ankle on top of the left. Find a little bit of activation. Press the right knee away from you. Pull the right ankle towards you. And if you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can pull the left knee towards your chest, but keep that activation through the right hip. Allow your shoulders, your neck, your back all to relax. Use your breath to keep you nice and calm. And this is kind of the balance that we're looking for, being able to relax and find ease where we don't need to have effort, but at the same time keeping just enough effort going in that hip, in the muscles that externally rotate the right hip, so we don't go completely passive there. This is helping the brain, through that activation of the muscle, this helps the brain get a signal that there's a purpose here in this range of motion. So the brain's gonna be happier with you being there. Relax the legs back down and hug your knees into your chest to roll back up to a seated position. And when you're ready, we're gonna move on and do that sequence one more time, but with a little bit of a funky variation to it. So roll over onto into a tabletop position, just to tuck the toes under and lift the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Walk the feet back to the front of the mat. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up to stand and reach your arms nice and tall. Exhale, bring the hands back down to your hips. Shift your weight into the right foot. Bring the left knee to your chest. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, hook that left ankle on top of the right knee. Bend into the right knee, press your hips back. Just get a feel for how this position feels for you. Maybe you even feel comfortable enough to bring your hands down towards the mat in this figure 4 shape, but we're not gonna stay there for long. We're gonna shift back into our crescent lunge. So bring the left foot to the back of the mat, bring your arms up. This time the knee is gonna stay up. Take an inhale in your crescent lunge. As you exhale, lower your arms into your cactus shape. So press the elbows forward and bring the arms, the hands back. This gets into your external rotators, which is what you need for those pinches. Twist around to the right. Hook your left elbow to the right knee. Step the left foot forward. Shift your weight into the left foot to rise up into your revolved Padangustasana, variation, wherever you want to be. Just one time this time, we're going to rotate all the way around, extend the right foot to the back behind you, coming into a revolved half moon. Hold it for a breath. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bend into the left knee, lower the right toes down to the mat, lower the right knee, lower the right hand, and shift your weight back, straightening through that left foot. Play around with any kind of stretches you need here. When you're ready, we're going to shift the weight over to the right so we can pick up the left leg, extend it all the way back behind us, and extend the left arm forward. Stretch out through the left side of the body. Think light as a feather. Inhale. As you exhale, lower the left hand down and stretch out through that left shoulder. And I like to think here about pressing like the outside of my armpit down towards the mat. So getting that external rotation, and we'll stretch the latissimus here, the left latissimus, by externally rotating the arm. And sometimes that muscle can be the pesky barrier that we feel in our pinchas and dolphins. So really nice to get the external rotation here in this one-legged puppy pose thing that we've got going on here. All right, rise up sort of halfway just so you can tuck the toes, the left toes to the back of the mat. Shift your shoulders forward over the left arm and come to the outside of the left foot. Rise up into your side plank. Pick the right foot up, bend the knee and lower it back behind you, bend into the left knee. Squeeze the glutes and open your hips and your chest up towards the ceiling in a wild thing. Now you can stay here, or we're gonna play around with a fun little variation. Can you pick up the right foot and just hook with the left knee bent, hook the right ankle on top of the left knee so we get a little figure 4 stretch in our wild thing. So we wanna sink the hips down. We've got this weird kind of like hollow back wild thing, figure 4 pigeon thing going on. Take an inhale, hold on to your figure 4 if you've got it, and spin all the way back around to face the mat with the right hand down in line with the left elbow. So lower the left elbow down. If you don't have your figure 4 yet, go ahead and hook the right ankle in front of the left knee. And we've got some options here. So we want to kind of hop that left foot forward enough. If you can, get your right knee onto the right elbow. You can also lower the top of the head down for help, or keep it up. And just like we did before, just with a little bit of a figure 4 shape, we'll play around with shifting our weight into that left arm and maybe lifting that left foot up into a little kind of funky flying pigeon. When you're ready, unravel your right leg, extend it back behind you, lower the left knee down, lower the right knee down. Let's take a child's pose here, just to rest for 3 to 4 breaths. When you're ready, we'll just rise back up, so lifting everything up and back into a downward facing dog. And as you move forward, just think that mantra to yourself again, light as a feather. Bring the activation that you need to your body, fold down into your Uttanasana, and rise up to stand. Reach the arms up nice and high. Think light as a feather. So exhale, bring your hands to your hips, shift your weight into the left foot, bring the right knee to your chest, bend the left knee to lower the right ankle onto that knee, and shift your hips back, your chest forward, just going into the depth of this stretch that works for you right now. We're not going to stay here for long. We're going to stand back up on that left leg just to unravel the right leg and step it all the way to the back of the mat. Lower the toes down, reach the arms up, squeeze that right tush. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, give me your cactus arms. So elbows forward, wrists back. Inhale, exhale, twist to the left. Reach the torso forward. Elbow to knee. Step the right foot forward and shift your weight into that right foot to lift the left knee up. Remember, you don't need to have the knee and the elbow touching. Take an inhale and move through center. Extend the left foot back behind you. Lower the left arm down. Maybe just go halfway, whatever works for you, towards a revolved half moon or maybe fully into it. Bend the right knee and lower the Left toes to the back of the mat, lower the left knee, the left hand, shift the hips back, and just breathe for a few breaths here in our sort of twisted half monkey pose. Making any movements through the hips, the ankle, maybe even in your upper back or your arm, whatever works for you, perhaps just breathing. When you're ready, we're gonna shift the weight over to the left to pick that leg up, swing it back behind us, reach the right arm forward, find length. And as you exhale, lower the right hand down, press the right shoulder towards the ear. Extend the body long, think light as a feather. Good, shift the shoulders up and forward, lower the right toes to the back of the mat and over onto the outside of the right foot to bring yourself into a side plank. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bend the left knee and lower the left toes to the back of the mat. Bend into the right knee, squeeze the glutes and lift the hips and chest up into your wild thing. Maybe if you want to take that variation, I like to put a little bend in the right knee just to give me a little bit more stability. As I lift the left leg up, hook that left foot on top of the right knee and sink my hips down so I get that nice stretch, as well as opening up through the upper back. Good, inhale. And as you exhale, we're just gonna spin around, look at where you're going. So look down towards your mat, lower the left hand to the middle of the mat and lower the right elbow down. Remember, we've got options. You can lower the head down, find contact between the left ankle and the left knee, stay here, or play around with shifting the weight of your hips forward enough to pick up that right foot. You can also do it with the head up. So, a little funky flying pigeon. Light as a feather. Good, and when you're done with that, lower the right toes down, unravel the left leg, lower the right knee, slide the left elbow to meet the right, lower the left knee down as well. Feel free to take a moment to rest, to relax, shake out your arms, but you can also take some time now to play around with one of these pinchas. So pincha is just Sanskrit for feather. So when we do our pinchamayurasana, it's called a peacock feather pose. So just think light as a feather. So we've got all the elements, we've practiced them. It's time to put them together. So just squeeze those elbows together in your forearm. Remember, the elbows can be wide. Just remember to squeeze them together. You can also bring the palms of the hands together. This may help you get a little bit more mobility through the shoulders. Tuck the toes under and lift the hips up. Look down towards the mat and play around with one leg up and the other leg up. This is your time to play, so don't wait for me to tell you exactly what to do. You have got all the elements now, and it's time to just build your own pincha. If you want to, because we've been playing around with so much of the funky arm shape as well, bring one elbow down. The other palm of the hand will be down with the fingers in line with the elbow. And let's say if you've got your left forearm down, then it may be easier to lift the right leg up and play around shifting with that right leg lifting up. Think of that right leg like your peacock feathers. You want to lift up through that right leg. Use your gaze down at the mat to help your brain understand. You can also do this on the wall with the wall behind you. All right, play around on the other side with the right forearm down. And this time the left leg will come up. So if that just feels impossible to have all of your weight on your arms like this, remember, this can be your peacock as well. Play around with that, with one leg up, just shifting your weight and back. Maybe you just do it once and that's enough for you. Because resting is just as important as working, okay? So hopefully you've had a chance to play around with that. And we're gonna take now that time to rest. So bring yourself to lie on your back and hug your knees into your chest. Feel free to make any movements that you need, but as you're lying here relaxing, just bring your awareness back to your breath and notice the pace of your breath and notice the sound of your heartbeat. Being aware that perhaps it is increased right now, and that is the sound of you getting stronger. Your body always knows what it needs to do. Your body always answers the requests that you give it. So just remember, you can trust your body. And as you lie here, allowing everything to slow down, bring perhaps that mantra back to mind, light as a feather. Light as a feather. Each exhale, allowing your muscles and your mind to relax and become more at ease, just like a feather. And just notice the way your body slowly unravels the tension in the muscles as you use your breath and this awareness, this sense of curiosity, not a sense of control or trying to change anything, just a sense of wonderment and amazement at your amazing body. Just to bring yourself a little bit deeper towards this sense of peace and relaxation. Light as a feather. And I implore you to please stay here in this resting relaxation for as long as you need. Whenever you are ready, you can stretch yourself nice and long and slowly bring yourself up to a position to move into the rest of your day. However you do it, whenever you do it, keep in mind this idea that you are in control of how easy or how effortful you make any situation. Your breath is your key. And that mantra, I am light as a feather, I hope can serve you in many more situations. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank yourself for making it through this class. I'll see you again soon.